Hello, everyone. This is Yoko. I've noticed that a lot of information about what's happening in China often doesn't reach countries outside of China. So, I've decided to share information I've gathered in English on this channel. I gather information from multiple sources, and I'd appreciate your comments on the content of my videos. Also, English is not my native language, so I use an AI speaker to generate the audio to ensure I convey information accurately. Today, I'd like to talk about the latest developments regarding China's Public Security Administration punishment law. There is a proposed amendment, or more precisely, a repeal, to this law with the aim of changing its content. Within this amendment, two main points have garnered significant attention. First, the one currently in the spotlight is Article 34. This article specifies a detention period ranging from 5 to 10 days or fines ranging from 1,000 to 3,000 yuan. In Japanese yen, this translates to roughly between 20,000 to 60,000 yen. While this amount may seem substantial from a Japanese perspective, for the majority of Chinese citizens, it represents a significant sum. Furthermore, if authorities deem a violation to be severe, the penalties become even more stringent. In cases considered malicious, the detention period can extend to 10 to 15 days, with fines of up to 5,000 yuan. In Japanese yen, this is around 100,000 yen. You might be wondering what actions lead to such penalties. In China, 2 points are of particular concern, with the second item drawing significant attention. The second point essentially targets costumes related to Japan, such as kimono and Japanese-themed cosplay. It suggests that wearing clothing that harms the spirit or emotions of the Chinese people in public spaces is not allowed. The specifics of what clothing would harm the emotions of the Chinese people are not clear, so this ultimately gives authorities the freedom to interpret it. However, it is widely believed that this provision is specifically aimed at Japanese attire and cosplay. This has been a point of contention in China, where people who wore kimonos in the past faced backlash on the internet and even had run-ins with the police. While being criticized for one's clothing choices is uncommon outside of Japanese attire and cosplay, this has happened multiple times in the context of Japanese-related clothing. Previously, there was no clear legal basis for regulating kimonos in China, so the response to such cases varied depending on local police officers' discretion. Now, the new amendment aims to establish unified rules for such situations, eliminating the ambiguity that existed before. It's worth noting that this is part of the broader policy of criticizing Japan implemented by the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. In China, clothing can lead to various problems, such as public backlash if someone takes a selfie and shares it on social media while wearing certain attire. Even if someone else takes a photo of someone wearing Japanese clothing and posts it on social media, it might be seen as inappropriate, leading to criticism. In some cases, individuals have been detained by the police. When it comes to how Chinese people react to such incidents, many attribute it to historical anti-Japanese sentiment fueled by the CCP's education system. However, it's essential to recognize that this isn't the whole story. The CCP also teaches about the Opium Wars in its history education, yet it doesn't criticize British people for wearing their traditional attire in China. Publicly wearing a suit in China, even in areas related to the Opium Wars, wouldn't be seen as hurting the spirit of the Chinese people. The CCP focuses more on anti-Japan propaganda because it believes it's more effective in influencing its domestic audience, which includes those sympathetic to the CCP. The CCP's goal is to create a negative image of Japan among the Chinese population, so when it criticizes Japan, it resonates with some people in Japan who support the CCP. If only the CCP criticizes Japan, it could cause problems within China, as elements of Japanese culture are popular there. Some Chinese people are involved in businesses related to Japan, and Japanese culture has penetrated Chinese society. So, without a clear reason, it's easier for the CCP to criticize Japan when people dress similarly to the Japanese. In conclusion, this amendment is part of the CCP's anti-Japan policy. It is likely to become law in its current form. Another point of concern in China is the prohibition of spreading speech that harms the emotions of the Chinese people, especially on social media. However, The criteria for what constitutes such harm remain ambiguous, giving authorities substantial discretion. In reality, the presence or absence of this law does not fundamentally change the situation in China, as the CCP has the power to act as it sees fit, regardless of existing laws. It's crucial to understand that China is not a rule of law country in the sense that laws can provide reliable protection. That's it for this discussion. I'll see you in the next video. If you found this information interesting, please consider subscribing to the channel and supporting it.